Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Schwa Mill, the American English pronunciation show, where we take a listen to your accent and give you suggestions on things you can do to start achieving a more natural sound in American English. I'm your host. My name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath, which is one of the four key ingredients to making sure you sound natural in American English. And I want to walk you through the process in case you want to send us a pronunciation file. You want to get some feedback, which would be great. So let's talk about what are the ways you can do that. Give me a moment to share my screen with you so that way we can get you rolling with us. All right, push myself to the side. So you can see this is our Google document. And you can find this in the video description. You can find this if you look on our community tab on YouTube. I'm also going to post it again in the chat. Basically, this is the document that you want to go to. And this is what you're going to see. You're going to see at top, it's going to say, hey, if you want to send your audio, you need to go to vocaroo.com, right in that top tab there, right? So vocaroo.com, if you've never used it before, looks a little like this. The big fat record button. Okay. You're going to click that, record, end it, and it's going to say save and share. You get this link, you copy the link, you paste it underneath all these other files. You see some people already sent us the files, which is great. And that's it. If you want to help me out a little bit more, you can also include the text of what you say, so that way we know 100% what words you wanted to go over. Okay. But not necessary to. It's just something that can be a helpful guide in case we have some issues with comprehension and things like that. And that's all you need to do. And we'll take turns. There should be plenty of time to go through everyone's files. So if there's time, or if you're joining us right around now, or even a little bit later in the stream, there is still time to get your files in. And if you're watching us on the replay, cool. Hello from the past. You can take a look at this same document. We use the same document every single week. So what you can do is you can come back. I would say usually I clean it out on Thursday or Friday. So it will be empty. And then you can put in your file. And that way we'll have you for the next episode of the Schwa Mill. So again, it's the same link every single time. Never changes. And we'd be happy to see you and hear your audio in a future episode. I think that kind of wraps up just the basics of how the Schwa Mill will work. We'll take a look at those files in a moment. Just want to say some quick hellos to people. Hello to Emmanuel checking in, mentioning the clean shave stream. Yep. I usually shave about once a week. Then the beard comes in, and then it gets too itchy for my liking, and then I shave it. Then it comes back, and then the cycle repeats. Hello to Shok. Thank you for checking in again. And Edward is here. Hello to Edward. Now, I know there's more people watching than people have posted. So if you're shy, that's okay. But it'd be nice if you said hello, because it'd be great to see you here. And Edward's greeting everybody, which is great. Oh, this name, Rocco Torivello. I am sorry, I know I butchered that, but thank you so much for joining us. It's good to see you as well. Feel free to send us an audio file. Again, if you go to our link, if you're interested in getting some feedback on your pronunciation. Trying to think of some other quick news, other important things. Oh, there is. Just a note that if you're interested in some of the things that we talk about, so some of the major concepts that we discuss every single stream, we talk about placement, we talk about breath, we talk about pitch, we talk about trying to weaken your consonant sounds. Then there's a great offering for you if you go to fluentamerican.com and take a look at our courses. So we have a variety of different video courses. Our foundational course, 4-Step American Accent, is completely free. So if you're just trying to get practice with the fundamentals, get understanding how they work, be sure to visit fluentamerican.com. Scroll down on the homepage, just down to where it says courses. And then you'll see that 4-Step American Accent. You click there and it will walk you through the process for how to register for that course. We will need your email address. We'll sign you up for a newsletter, and then you'll get your free course. So that's something to get excited about. And of course, we have some other courses as well. We have courses dedicated to learning more about pitch. We have daily workout videos that are like 2 to 5 minutes long. So just so you can get your practice in and things like that. Those are the highlights for me. If you guys think of other things that I need to mention, be sure to let me know. But let's get into the meat of the program. Um, I do have one last quick heads up. My wife's still a bit sick, so I might need to duck out a little bit early to check and see how my son is doing. But we'll try to squeeze in everyone's files as fast but efficiently as possible. Let's get into your pronunciation files. Oh, let me add myself there, right? Again, it's not little, it's more little.
The G host was class.
Are you feeling that here, or here? See, I have my headphones on so that way I can hear you guys in the files that you send us. I'm going to share my screen once more so that way you can hear what I hear, see what I see. Appreciate Emmanuel for the kind words with regards to my wife. Yes, we all hope that she gets better soon. Put myself a little bigger here. Oh, look at me there. Look at that nice, clean, smooth face. This is the one time where you can actually touch my face and it's like baby soft and baby smooth, because within the next 5 hours it will immediately turn into sandpaper, much to my wife's disappointment. Okay, let's take a look at a reasonable file here. How about this
Chance in a
one?
million.
Oh, we just ran right into it. Cool. Manuel, I think this is your file. So let's this was taken from our free WhatsApp group. Also in our Telegram group too. Oops, did not put it in the right spot. So here is the text for the file that you're about to experience, I believe.
Chance in a million. Not a prayer. Slim chance. Poor prospect. 1,000,001. Better chance against struck by lightning.
Okay. I think my big comments here are going to be especially related to pitch, but I think the general consensus is that this is, I think it's pretty understandable. I like the general things that are happening here. Let's play it one more time.
Chance in a million. Not a prayer. Slim chance. Poor prospect. 1,000,001. Better chance against struck by lightning.
Okay. So I'm going to be especially interested in pitches towards the ends of these words because I know Emmanuel's also interested in those things too. Let's kind of break these down one by one really quick.
Chance in a million.
Million. We get really kind of stuck there on million, right? I would try to go a little bit lower than that. Also, million, oftentimes when you hear people say million, you're going to hear people reducing it to 2 syllables. So instead of million, you're kind of giving me 3 syllables there. I'll see if we can get down to 2. It's like million. So just mill with a dark L sound. When I'm saying mill, tip my tongue is down. It's a short I sound, so it's not me. It's more meh, mill. And now we're going to finish with like a quick like yin sound, like Y-I-N, yin, million. Notice what else is happening there besides the vowels. You want to be paying attention to pitch. Million has 2 syllables. Your stress is on the first syllable, so that means that second syllable is going to go down in pitch a bit. It's like million. Let's also talk about speed and time because yin is the reduced syllable, so it's going to be a lot faster. So it's not million. It's going to be million. It's going to be so fast. It's going to be at a low pitch. It's also going to be way weaker. It's almost like whispered, right? Million. I'm not saying million because that would be too heavy, right? It's more million. So it's going a little weaker on that. Try saying million 3 times to yourself. Ideally, you want to hear it like million. If you find yourself doing million, that means your second syllable is a little too strong and also a little too high in terms of pitch.
Chance in a million.
Million versus million. I'm going lower in pitch on the yin. I'm using 2 syllables instead of 3. So just some quick comments on that part. See what else is happening here. So it's chance in a million.
Not a prayer.
Not a prayer. So prayer. Okay, so prayer. Kind of in that weird like 1 to 2 syllable range. I think the key thing is just making sure that where you're ending is at a lower pitch than where you're starting. It's like prayer. Hear how that final R sound is a lot lower than the first PR sound. Prayer. It's like not a prayer. I would try to just get, again, a little lower pitch on that final R. Not a prayer.
Not a prayer. Slim chance.
Slim chance. Slim chance.
Slim chance.
Slim chance. I would probably go a little higher in pitch on chance because I think that the stress is getting a little lost. It's like a slim chance. Chance is going to be your stress word, so it needs to be a little higher pitch. Slim chance. Slim chance. Just kind of push that a little higher would be my big suggestion there. What else we got?
Poor prospect.
I want to hear the second syllable of prospect.
Poor prospect.
Spec. It feels very closed off. Like it feels like we really kind of blocked air on that spec. Just a quick note. In theory, it's going to be like a CT, which is more prospect. Poor prospect. So maybe going a little higher in pitch on pra, and then spec. Try to hold your vowel a little longer with a little more breath. Spect. It's not spect. A little more breath. Poor prospect. One way you can also kind of practice adding breath here is just take your vowels, remove the consonant sounds, and just say the vowels a couple times, like or or poor prospect, or poor prospect. Just trying to get more breath through on that final syllable.
1,000,001.
Here, the placement's really high. 1,000,001. Just really close off. 1,000,001 versus 1,000,001. 1,000,001. One is also your stress word, so maybe trying to get the pitch a little higher there on the w. 1,000,001. Hear the original again.
1,000,001. 1,000,001.
Your other breath just kind of dies there. 1,000,001. One versus one. Kind of like what we talked earlier too about. What was it? Prayer. Trying to end a little lower in pitch, just make it sound a little more dynamic. 1,000,001. It's like one. 1,000,001. Just kind of get a little lower there. I think would be helpful.
Better chance of getting struck by lightning.
Better chance of getting struck by lightning.
Better chance of getting struck by lightning.
So I think let's talk about thought groups really here.
Chance of getting struck by lightning.
I feel like you're kind of doing 3 thought groups. It's like better chance. First thought group, getting struck. Second thought group, by lightning. Third thought group. But the problem is when you switch thought groups in English, you want to try to change your pitch register. And right now we're kind of using very similar pitches for all 3 of those thought groups.
Better chance of getting struck by lightning.
Better chance of getting struck by lightning. Better chance of getting struck by lightning. So maybe we can try to just add a little bit more contrast with these. Like better chance of getting struck by lightning. You have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Like imagine if we actually had this in a sentence. Maybe add the phrase like you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. You have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. It's like you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning, and then going high at the ends. Just trying to make it a little more dynamic, add some pitches there. I think that would be helpful. Those are the main things jumping out at me right now. Amanda, if you have any questions for me about anything I said, let me know. Thanks for sending that file. We appreciate you, as always. Let's pick another one. What say you guys? This one's 6 seconds, 13.
The employees don't like the boss because he always talks down to them.
Okay. Second file here. Let's take a listen to this one.
The employees don't like the boss because he always talks down to them.
Okay, I'm going to have some similar comments here about pitch and things like that, but I believe this is Marco's file. Thanks for sending this. Here's the text of the file, so you guys can use this to kind of comprehension there. I'm going to play it again.
The employees don't like the boss because he always talks down to them.
Okay. So, I think it is dynamic. I want to imagine that you want this to sound as natural in a conversation as possible. Because right now it sounds a little bit like you're reading, which I get it. Maybe you probably were. How would we make this sound more conversational?
The employees don't like the boss.
The employees don't like their boss. Employees don't like their boss. Employees don't like their boss. A lot of times subjects are not stressed, so I would remove the stress off of employees. I would probably just stress boss. Can you hear the difference between the employees don't like their boss and the employees don't like their boss? Hear the difference between those? I think that second one's going to sound a little more fluid because I'm taking off the stress on employees, so I can just kind of move a lot faster. Ends up being a little smoother there. So the employees don't like their boss.
The employees don't like the boss because he always talks down to them.
Because he always talks down to them. So like I would go higher and pitch on down. Down is your heavy stress. That's probably your heaviest stress in the entire sentence. So that's probably going to be your highest pitch at all. Okay. He always talks down to them.
Employees don't like the boss because he always talks down to them.
Employees don't like the boss because he always talk down to them. I would play around with the pitches too. So I would do 2 thought groups here. The second thought group, you have 2 options. You can either go lower, but I would probably actually go higher personally myself. The employees don't like their boss because they always talk down to them. Employees don't like their boss because he always talks down to them. So I would try to take that second half higher, just to note. And going higher pitch on down talks down to them. It gives you a little bit more emotion, a little more energy. Can also conveys a little bit more about how the speaker, the person talking, feels about this whole situation. I do see a question from Edward. Shouldn't employees be stressed on the last syllable? The employees don't like their boss. Again, it depends on what you're stressing. It depends on your thought group. There's a million ways to do this. Please don't take my suggestions as the only possibility. There are so many. I would just say I think this is going to sound a lot smoother if you just stress boss and you take the stress off of employees. The employees don't like their boss. Employees don't like their boss. Also because, we also need to kind of establish some context, If you're saying the employees, then it's already, when you're using there's this concept in English called like second mention. There's first mention, second mention. Like if I say, oh, there's a cat by the door. The cat is gray. Well, the first time, like there's a cat. It's a new cat. This is new information. It's like there's a cat by the door. So now I'm like putting a lot of weight on cat. It's new. I know about it, but you don't. Okay, so for one of us, it's new information. But then the second time I say cat, you know about the cat and I know about the cat. So it's less important. There's a cat by the door. The cat is gray. So when I say cat again, I don't need to stress it as much, right? Because it's not new information anymore. So kind of a similar sort of thing here. The employees don't like their boss. It feels like your speaker and the person that they're talking to probably already know about the employees. So it's not really key information, most likely. So employees probably is not going to get stressed, in all honesty. I think that kind of highlights most of the things there. So I'm going to move on to our next file. Thanks to Marcos for sending that. Hope you guys found that helpful. Okay. Some other quick things that I may have missed. Checking the chat. Sobeta's in the house. Is this Sobeta? Showing up fashionably late. I'm just messing. Shok saying, sorry about my wife being sick. Yes, I appreciate those kind words. Thank you as always, Shok. All right, we're going to move right along, folks, because we're getting through files today. We grinding. We out here grinding, yo. What's our next one? 6-second file, 7-second. People send in short files today. And then I see the 24-second file. Okay. 10-second file, 13-second file. Let's try this 13-second file here.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and he asked me, "Can you help me? I have to fix something in my house." I said, "Yeah, just tell me the time." And it turns out the guy went on vacation.
Okay. Thanks to more for sending us some files. Play that again with the text and the majority of the text.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and he asked me, "Can you help me? I have to fix something in my house." I said, "Yeah, just tell me the time." And it turns out the guy went on vacation.
Okay. One thing that's immediately jumping out to the start, just at the ending, vacation, your breath kind of just stops. Vacation versus vacation. Do you hear how for mine the breath kind of continues a little bit on the final end sound, the shin. So say shin. It's more shin. He went on vacation. You went on vacation. So just trying to extend the breath a little bit more at the end there.
Vacation.
Vacation. Vacation. Just trying to extend the breath a bit. Other things are jumping out to me.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day.
Okay, so let's imagine you're talking to someone, you're telling a story. A very common situation. I think a lot of times when people are introducing stories in this sort of way, where you're talking about something that happened or something that someone told you, this first part is scene setting. You're just kind of you're building the scenario. You're giving your listener some context. So this usually isn't the most important information. It's just trying to get us, in the right frame of reference, right? So I think for this sort of situation, and I definitely would put maybe a phrase like, so I was talking to, I would put that into Youglish. So I was talking to, put that phrase into Youglish and just kind of see what comes up. And what I think you're often going to find for this sort of phrase is a rising intonation towards the end to where the other person starts talking.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day.
Notice that you're using falling intonation. The other day, it just dies. The other day. Versus, so I was talking to one of my friends the other day. So I was talking about one of my friends the other day. And like I would do maybe like a fall rise. So I was talking to one of my friends the other day and he asks me, a lot of times too, there's so many ways you can tell stories. So use the past tense, you use asked, and that's fine. Another thing though, you'll see native speakers use a lot is they'll use the present. So for instance, and he asks me, so I was talking to one of my friends the other day and he asks me, can you help me? Like something like that. Another phrase you'll hear a lot with stories is instead of and he asks me, or and he's like, can you help me? So using and he's like or and she's like to indicate the other person is about to talk, or the other character in your story is about to talk. So this is another strategy that you will commonly find.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day. I would also, are you stressing day?
I was talking to one of my friends the other day.
One of my, I think you're stressing friends, but I would go higher in pitch. So I was talking to one of my friends the other day. I was talking to one of my friends the other day. So I'll go higher in pitch on friends. I would use a rising intonation on day personally. And then the next thought group.
My friends the other day. And he asked me, can you?
So so I like you're playing around pitch. I do appreciate that. My friends the other day. And so you're shifting everything higher. One of my friends the other day. And he asked me, one of my friends the other day. And he asked me, so you do have that shift in pitch on the new thought group, which I like.
The other day. And he asked me, can
the other day, and he asked me, but my only thing is I would expect the asks part to actually go lower in pitch because again it's not really key information, it's just the kind of extra information. So I'd actually probably go lower. So I was talking to one of my friends the other day and he asks me, can you help me, like something like that, because I would expect once you start using a quotation that someone else says, you expect the pitch to change as well. So I'd expect the pitch to go even higher. And he asked me, can you help me?
the other day. And he asked me, can you help me?
And you do that too. So you do go and he asked me, can you help me? So you do go higher. So I appreciate that. I would just say on the and he asked me part, I would actually probably just go lower personally.
I have to fix something in my house. I have to fix something in my house. Can you help me? I have to fix something in my house.
To fix something. Fix something.
I have to fix something in my house.
Okay, I think that something on the fix something to me sounds slightly off. It might be pitch related.
I have to fix something in my.
I think what's happening, like fix something, fix some. I think like fix and some are too similar in pitch. In general, English doesn't like that so much, where you have two syllables, one right after the other, where the pitch is identical or very similar. So instead, what English is looking for you to do is to, one pitch, if it's stressed, go higher, or if it's not stressed, go lower. So instead of fix some, I was like fix some. I have to fix something. So I would go lower in pitch on some, and I think it's going to help add some more contrast there.
I have to fix something in my house.
I like the in my house part. I have to fix something in my house.
I said, yeah, just tell me the time.
I say, yeah, just tell me the time. That's fine. You can also say, just tell me when.
And it turns out the guy went on vacation.
And then we talked already about vacation. I'll just try to extend the breath there. Okay, so those are going to be my big suggestions for that file. If you have any questions about anything I said, let me know. But some good stuff there as always. All right, we appreciate it. All right, guys, if you are finding any of this helpful, one thing that you can do is just, liking the stream. If you know people studying American English, you can always let them know what we do. But I do want to also let you know that, hey, if you're finding what we're talking about helpful too, imagine if we got to work together on your pronunciation every single day of the week. Every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, we got to work with you to let you know, hey, let's take a look at your pitches, or let's work on your placement. Let's your vowel sound, we're using the wrong vowel and things like that. So we have a program called Mission English, in which it's you, me, and about 2 or 3 other students on screen. So it's like I'm here and you guys are like over here somewhere or over here somewhere. We're all on screen together and we're doing exercises. And we meet every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. In fact, it's so good. We meet twice a day, Monday through Friday. These times are based on New York. So we're either meeting at 9:30 in the morning, like we do on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or we're meeting at 1:30 p.m. New York times, just after lunch on Mondays, on Tuesdays, and again on Fridays. Or we're meeting in the evening New York times. We're meeting at 8 p.m. on Monday, 8 p.m. on Wednesday, and 8 p.m. on Thursday. And we meet for 30 minutes. We listen to your pronunciation. We do analysis where we listen to native speakers talking and we see what pitches and linking and vowel sounds they're using. And then we try to copy them. And the best part is all the classes are saved. So then you can watch it again. And I can't express how valuable that is, because whether you're working on your own, or maybe you have a different pronunciation teacher or something like that, which is great. The most valuable thing, though, is not what you do inside of class, it's what you do outside of class. Because what happens inside of class, I always tell students this, is we'll do an exercise. I'll tell you, hey, say something. And then you say it. And then I tell you, no, that's not quite, we need to make an adjustment here. And in class, to my face, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But in your head, you're going to be thinking, man, Jeff's crazy. I said the same thing he did. Exactly the same. I don't know why Jeff is picking on me. And then you watch the replay, and then you understand what you actually sound like. You hear your real voice, and you hear me giving that feedback, and it starts making a lot more sense. And in fact, you're like, oh my gosh, I sound like that? No, I didn't say that. I said something else. I didn't actually do that. So it's just such a strange but powerful experience, seeing yourself on recording, hearing yourself again. And so Mission English, every single class we do is saved. It's in a private Facebook group. In fact, we recently just passed 300 classes. So that means that if you sign up for Mission English today, you automatically get to see 300 of our previous classes. I mean, that's what's up. What other program gives you that opportunity to? Emmanuel is one of our members. Emmanuel will tell you replays are 1,000 times more valuable. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing your face live in the group, but the replays are where it's at. It's so much more beneficial for you. So we would love to work with you in Mission English, again, just to show you our times. And our Mission English program, for the price of one class, so right now it's $30. You sign up once for the month. $30 gets you access to a maximum of 40 classes, a minimum of 30 classes. So it's basically like paying pennies for a class. So we would love to see you in Mission English. I think you guys will have a lot of fun there. For more information about that, you can go to fluentamerican.com. There it is. There is my finger on the right name. All right, we still cruising. Look at some more pronunciation files. Just double checking to see if more people have added. I see Elchin has sent a file in. My goal is to try to get us in and out of here so I can check on my son in the next half hour or so. So we're going to try to cruise. So if I look at your file and I miss something, or there's something that you think is really important that I didn't get to, you let me know. Let us see who next. Got 10 second, 24, 7, 6. Let's try this 10-second file. Who we got?
I don't recall saying that you could talk. I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Okay, so we got some shadowing going on. I'm a fan of shadowing. We applaud shadowing in this house. That's what's up. Sending the original file and then sending the adjustment, which is great. So what is our text? Okay, and they also sent us a question too, which is cool. This is what they sent us. Move my position. Okay, so this is what they sent us.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Okay, and they're asking a question. Is my voice artificially deep, low? I don't think it's artificially deep or low, but I will say sometimes I think your breath's getting a little bit restricted, and so that might be contributing to that fear that you have. Let's hear it again.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Okay, there's a couple. I'm especially noticing that on words that have our dark L sounds. So, for instance, recall. It's like I don't recall. So I would just try saying aw. Aw. Don't get distracted by the words. In fact, I'm going to take the transcript away. So I'd like you to kind of just practice with me. Just try saying aw, aw. Just go for the sound. Aw. Then let's add a C before that. Caw. Like aw, caw, aw, caw, recall. Caw, recall. Caw, recall. Caw, recall. Because it sounds to me we're getting a little bit closed off on that call sound.
I don't recall saying.
Do that recall versus recall. If anything, it sounds like your mouth is closing the moment when it actually needs to open wider. Some other things that can be helpful with the dark L sound too. Take the tip of your tongue right there and push against the bottom of your mouth. Caw. So the caw. Don't recall. The other word that I heard that for was also for talk.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Talk. Just again, try to lower your lower jaws a little bit more too. Some of that could also be just because I think you're stressing it, but it's overstressed.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Yeah, that you could talk. It's like really, really, really heavy there. I don't know if your original model is doing that.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
That you could talk.
Talk.
Yeah, so I would just try to go a little softer, if anything, like talk. Focus on the vowel, the aw sound. Focus less on the T. Because sometimes we get a little too strung up on the consonant sounds.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
I think there's also some things related to pitch here. Notice the range of pitches your model is using.
I don't recall saying.
So that's your first suck. I don't recall. So we're like up here. There's like kind of like your midpoint. I don't recall. Then you get this lower point. Saying that you could. I don't recall saying that you could. I don't recall saying that you could. So it goes a little bit lower in pitch on that you could.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Oh, it said that you could. He's using a ch sound, which is fine. So a T when it links with a U or a y sound comes like a ch. It's like that you could. That you could. I don't recall saying that you could.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
That you could talk. I don't recall saying that you could talk. I don't recall saying that you could talk.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Okay, and this is actually really important because so the fact that pitch register went down, like I don't recall saying that you could talk, because talk pitch wise is actually not. If it is higher, it's not that much higher than the first part. I don't recall, and then talk, call, talk are going to be very similar pitch wise. So we don't want to go crazy high on talk. It's the stressed word in there, but it sounds strong because it's the highest pitch in that next thought group. That doesn't mean though it's the highest pitch of the whole sentence.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Yeah, I would say recall is actually probably a little higher pitch than talk is.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Whereas for yours, talk is probably the highest pitch.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Maybe like your I is higher actually.
I don't recall saying that.
I don't recall. Oh, your don't is really high.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
I don't recall saying that you could talk. Versus I don't recall saying that you could talk. So I think you could actually take that second thought group just a little bit lower in pitch and try to get more air through. Those are probably the things that would be most beneficial if your goal is to sound just like that native speaker. I don't think it sounds artificially low. It's just kind of playing around with those pitches a little bit in the thought groups and trying to open up the breath. See if there's anything else that comes up.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
I think there's maybe also a little bit on speed. Notice how long he says saying in the original.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Don't recall saying that you could. It's like he's kind of dragging out recall and saying a little bit.
I don't recall saying.
I don't recall. Like, I don't recall. So recall is a bit longer than the I don't part. And then you have the saying.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Saying that you could. Saying that you could. Let's listen to yours.
Saying that you could talk. I don't recall saying that you could.
I don't recall saying. So your recall is a little bit faster. Okay, so I'll go a little slower on recall.
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
And I would also go a little slower on saying. So you need to go a little slower on recall, go a little slower on saying just to get his pace. I think you're actually probably talking a little faster than he is. How long is his file?
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
So it's like a 3-second file. About how fast is yours?
I don't recall saying that you could talk.
Oh, wow. You're like almost twice as fast as he is. Okay. So slow down a little bit on some of these words. You're talking faster than he is. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions about that, be sure to let me know. But thank you for sending your file. We appreciate it. Who next? Who next? Let's get that. I know there's a long file in here. So where's that long one? Got our 24-second monster. Let's see what we got here.
So real quick, on the left side of the car, again, explore a lot of cars, different. Most of them look the same. Got the battery. The battery, get red for positive, black for negative. Like here, got fuse panel. It's for all fuse in the car. For like your radio, everything. Windshield wipers, everything. For the back, here's brake fluid. And right here is your power steering.
There's a Shoke. Shoke says, thanks for sending the file. Shoke, you're talking like Boomhauer from... What was that show called? I can't believe I can't remember the name. King of the Hill. Driver, real quick on the left side of your car again. For like cars doing, it's just a lot of kind of fast talking, low pitch, a little tricky there. So this is a little tricky to understand. So I'm just going to target this first part because I think everything I tell you here is going to be applicable to the rest of it as well.
So real quick, on the left side of the car, again, explore a lot of cars, different. Most of them look the same.
Okay, so there's some basic things that are happening here that's making this a little difficult to understand from a listener's perspective is your vowels aren't getting enough time to breathe. And in addition to that, there's not enough contrast in your pitches, so everything is kind of sounding the same. So we need our thought groups to kind of switch up. Now, this I see this is by MCF. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with who MCF is right now. So it could be that you're shadowing, which is fine. If you are shadowing, then listen back to the audio and maybe you're caching this 100% the way that they said it, and maybe they're just trying to be a character with an exaggerated speech pattern. But if our goal is to get this to sound a little bit more understandable, we need to open up our vowels more and increase the range of pitches more.
So real quick.
I would expect real to get stressed there, so I'd expect a higher pitch on real.
So real quick.
It almost sounds like you're saying real versus real. So real quick. This is your E sound followed by an L. So you need to have that break into a dark L, like eel. So real quick. It's gonna help open that up more.
On the left side of the car.
On the left side of your car.
Quick. On the left side of the car.
On the left side of your car. I appreciate the reduction, but it's again a little bit maybe too reduced.
On the left side of the car.
Left side of your car. On the left side of your car. I'll go higher pitch on left. And maybe a higher pitch on car.
On the left side of the car.
On the left side of your car. A higher pitch on car if you want to add stress there, or a lower pitch on car. Like on the left side of your car. So real quick on the left side of your car. So real quick on the left side of your car. Like doing something like that would have been a lot more understandable. So real quick, first thought group a little higher, stress on real. So real quick, then we're going to drop in pitch a little bit on your second thought group on the left side of your car, stressing left on the left side of your car. So real quick, on the left side of your car.
On the left side of your car. Again, explore a lot of cars different.
Gonna explore a lot of cars. This is a tricky part.
Again, explore a lot of cars different. Most of
It feels like we're even just like topping off whole syllables like different. I'm missing entire parts of that word.
Again, explore.
I also don't know what gannets are. Again, that may be right from the text, but that might be a term I'm just not familiar with, or it could be, mistranslation or something. I just don't know what gannets are.
Again, explore a lot of cars different.
Gannet. I'm not hearing the verb to be. I'm not hearing that is, and that needs to be clear. It's like gannets is explored. It's also kind of the grammar is also really weird, right? Because gannets looks plural, and then we get. So maybe Gantz is a name. I don't have enough context, but Gannets looks plural, and then I see the is. So now I'm a little bit confused in terms of subject verb agreement.
Again, explore a lot of cars different. Most of them
are different. Again, with contrast, moving down to like the but most of them part.
Again, explore a lot of cars different. Most of them look at.
You're giving me the same pitch. Again, explore different cars. Like it's the same pitch, same pitch, same pitch, same pitch, same pitch, and that makes it really hard for me to understand. I would expect you have opportunities for thought groups. You have that another thought group that starts with but most of them. So you would expect that next thought group to go higher in pitch probably because you're adding contrast. Okay. But are different, but most of them, a lot of cars are different, but most of them, a lot of cars are different, but most of them. So just kind of raising that pitch there is really going to help add some more contrast and make that a lot easier to understand. Because right now the pitches are just all the same. Hey guys, while I'm looking at Shok's file, just give a nice warm welcome to Kim. I'm feeling a little nervous to hear their own voice, but they're brave, and we appreciate bravery. That's what's up. We're excited to hear you. Give us a moment. We'll take a look at the remaining files soon. What else can we say for this file?
Explore a lot of cars different. Most of them look the same.
You did go higher pitch on same. I just would have liked some more of that movement earlier.
Same. Got the battery. The battery. Get red for.
You got the battery. The battery. I like what you did there. You got the battery. And then the second time you repeat battery, you change the pitch. That's really good. That adds some more contrast. You got the battery. The battery.
The battery. Get red for positive.
Or was that?
Look the same. Got the battery. The battery.
You got the battery. The battery. That's a great shift when you're repeating a word. I really like that.
Get red for positive, black for negative.
Got the red for positive, black for negative. I would expect it's something. Get the red for positive.
Black for negative. Get red for positive, black for negative.
I would have gone higher pitch on negative. Red for positive, black for negative. Red for positive. So you're kind of stressing red. Red for positive, black for negative. Something like that. Just kind of switch up the pattern. So first time you stress the color. Second time you stress the I don't know, like the charge. Red for positive, black for negative. Red for positive, black for negative. That sort of switch on the contrast again just helps make it easier to understand. But yeah, Shok, the big things I think here are going to be adding more contrast with your pitches and your thought groups. That's really going to help so much with helping your listener to understand what you're saying for this sequence. This section was a little bit tricky. Not going to lie. Okay. All right, who's next? I got 2 more files from our original group. Okay. People giving a nice warm welcome to Kim. We appreciate that. We're all nervous. Welcome aboard. And then we're all here together. Make it sound like we're like in a horror movie trying to survive like a zombie attack. Well, guys, at least I'm here with you. I promise it won't be that painful. I promise. 2 files left from our original group. Let's check out. First of all, let's mix up the view. I'm gonna put myself over here. Look at me. Just did that. I can't even move again. I can be like, whoa. Or maybe not. Okay. Maybe won't let me do what I wanted to, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's take a listen to our Next file here.
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Okay.
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Okay. Again, pretty relatively common idiom. Not one that you'll probably hear a lot, but one that people are familiar with. Okay. So we got some omelets. We got some eggs. Let's go at it again.
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Okay. I know I've been talking to a lot of people about pitch recently, and that's going to continue now. So if you're tired of pitch, this is the time to leave. What can we say here?
You can't make an omelet without.
Can't make an omelet. You can't make an omelet. So you're going pretty heavy on can't.
You can't make an omelet with.
Can't make an. So, and I'm okay with stressing can't. I'm okay with that. But then what happens is you then stress omelet, and it catches me kind of off guard.
You can't make an omelet with.
Can't make an omelet. Can't make an omelet. I would maybe just pick one stress. Okay, so I would maybe just say, maybe just can't. Can't make an omelet. Can't make an omelet. Do you hear the difference between can't make an omelet and can't make an omelet? Can you hear the difference? The first time I'm stressing can't and omelet, and then the second time I'm just stressing can't. Can't make an omelet. The other alternative would be to just stress omelet. Can't make an omelet. Can't make an omelet. So now I'm just stressing omelet. Okay, so there's 3 different patterns that we just did there. So the first way is with the stress on can't and omelet, like can't make an omelet. The second time you just stress can't. Can't make an omelet. And then the third way is just stress omelet. Can't make an omelet. So I would pick either the second or the third, and I think it's going to help kind of letting things flow a little bit. Kim knowing that they can notice the difference there. That's great. Also want to say hello to Luxon. Good to see you from Haiti. Appreciate it. And Emmanuel knows that the Flat Pitch Society is taking over our constant battle against the Flat Pitch Society. It's a war that we will continue waging. Can't make an omelet. And then we get the second half.
You can't make an omelet with.
Okay. Also, I would just make a note. So for omelet, you're giving me 3 syllables. So omelet, which is fine. You can say omelet that way. I think a more frequent way you're going to hear that pronounced, though, is without the second syllable. So instead of omelet, just omelet. Omelet. Can't make an omelet. Can't make an omelet. So just pretend that first E isn't even there. Can't make an omelet. Can't make an omelet.
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Breaking some eggs.
Make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Breaking some eggs. The more, I would even put this phrase into Euglish to see how other native speakers would say it, but I'm going to guess that the stress that's more frequent would be eggs. Right now, you're kind of stressing breaking.
Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
You're like, breaking some eggs. Breaking some eggs. It's like you're stressing bray. It sounds like you're stressing bray, and then you're dropping it. King some eggs. If you want to stress breaking, then I think the sound you're going to get like breaking some eggs. Do you hear how just like high, down, down, down? Breaking some eggs. Breaking some eggs without breaking some eggs. So that's one possibility if you want to stress breaking. But I think a more natural stress would be on eggs. So without breaking some eggs. Try to get my hand in this. Without breaking some eggs. And then we go higher pitch on eggs because that's our stress. Without breaking some eggs. Without breaking some eggs. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. So if we have a stress on can't and we have a stress on eggs, that's the rhythm you're going to get. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. We have 2 thought groups. Can't make an omelet. And then we have without breaking some eggs. Those are 2 thought groups I'm using right now. So when we switch thought groups, again, you also probably want to switch your pitch pattern. So like if we start high, can't make an omelet, can't make an omelet, And then we have our next thought group without breaking some eggs. Do you hear how the pitch just drops? Because when you switch thought groups, you want to switch the pitch register. So our first thought group has a higher pitch register. Can't make an omelet. Everything's a little high. Can't make an omelet. And then our next thought group, everything's lower without breaking some eggs. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. So I think if you play around with pitches and you play around with stresses, that's going to really help you achieve a nice flow for this sentence. I think this is a good start. I like the base here.
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Okay, so that's going to be helpful. The other thing I would say too is the sentence is a little bit choppy. So it is almost like I was talking like this, where your syllables aren't connecting. But American English is all about breath, right? It's all about flow. We want things to join together. We want to reduce. We want everything to be linked. How can we do that? We're going to do it with breath. We're going to do it with focusing on vowel sounds. Let's kind of focus on the second half of the sentence.
Make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
So, like, let's just do the vowels. So let's take without breaking some eggs. Let's just do the vowel sounds, like ow, like a, ow, eh. Okay, so those are our main vowel sounds. So try to do this with me. Kim, I want you to do this with me. Everyone watching or listening, I want you guys to do it with me too. We're just going to do, excuse me, really quick. We're just going to do the vowel sounds and let's try to link them. And you don't have to do it perfectly. Perfect vowels are not the goal right now. The goal right now is just trying to get it fluid and get flowing from one sound to the next. It's like, eh, that's our goal. And then once we get comfortable with just doing those general vowel sounds, we can add the consonants back in. It's like without breaking some eggs. Without breaking some eggs. So now it's going to flow a lot more. One last time. Without breaking some eggs. Let's listen to the original.
Make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Yeah, that time was like breaking some eggs, just a little choppier, so that will help smooth things out. All right, those are my big thoughts there. So definitely take some notes. Let me know if you have any questions about anything there. Oh man, Kim, they're seeing the power. Yes. Come to the dark side. Yes. American English does not have consonants. It only has vowel sounds. I know what everyone told you. Yeah, practice that. It's going to help you give you some really smooth sentences, buttery smooth, flowing sentences. Cool. Thank you so much for sending us their first file ever. That's what's up. It's so good. Thank you so much for joining us, Kim. Hope to see you in future streams. Again, we do this every single Saturday at this time. I see one more original file. Again, unfortunately, I do have to head out soon to check on my son. Check to see if anyone else has sent us some surprises. Just Elshin. Elshin probably working on his audiobook. I know he loves the long ones. Cool. No, thank you, Kim. Saying thanks. And Emmanuel saying thanks as well to Kim. Yeah, we all thank each other. We all learn from each other. When you send a file, it's not just about learning for yourself. We all learn from everyone's files. I learn from your files too. Facts. Okay, let's take a look at this one.
I forgot to apply the study abroad program, but now I missed the boat.
Okay. A lot's happening there. Instead of talk about this one, let's listen again.
I forgot to apply the study abroad program, but now I missed the boat.
The comments I'm going to have for this file are very similar to comments I've pretty much been saying the entire stream. Our vowel sounds are not getting enough air, enough room to breathe. We're not using enough pitches, which is causing there to be not enough contrast. So it becomes hard to know where does one word end and where does one word start. And so if we don't have enough pitches and we don't have enough contrast and our vowel sounds aren't long enough, it's going to be really hard for your listener to comprehend the things you're saying, because American English speakers are so trained to listen to your vowel sounds. They're so trained to note differences with pitch. And if we don't have those things, it's like trying to explore, a jungle at midnight with like a tiny, tiny flashlight. It's just like it's really hard to do. We need these guideposts. We need pitch. We need contrast. We need vowels.
I forgot to apply that study abroad program, but now I missed the boat.
It's really interesting. That second thought group actually is much easier to understand. The second half of that is really good for like from but now.
That study abroad program,
Okay, so we're really high. So our pitch level is pretty high.
but now.
And then you get that dramatic but now. Good. I like that movement. Good movement there. This is the moment where your sentence becomes much easier to understand. Okay.
I missed the boat.
And in fact, you even go lower. But now, that's kind of its own thought group. And then you go lower. I missed the boat. But now, I missed the boat. It's like study abroad program. So program's pretty high, which is good. And then we drop a little bit. But now, and then we're going to drop more. I missed the boat. So that moment of your sentence is so much easier for your listener to understand because there's so much more contrast. It's so much easier to understand it. Listen to this again and just note how much easier that second half is to understand.
I forgot to apply that study abroad program, but now I missed the boat.
That second half is so much easier to understand. I would just say on boat, hold your O sound longer. I missed a boat. I missed a boat. Hold that O sound. A minor grammar question, or grammar note. But's probably not your right word here. If anything, it's probably and. Because you're not really showing contrast. It's not like a surprise. You forgot to apply, so you missed the boat. So I would instead of but, you probably want to use so or you want to use and. But but's probably not the right one you're looking for meaning wise. Okay, so how can we make the first half of this more understandable? I see MD, you sent us a question. I'll be there in a moment.
I forgot to apply that study abroad.
I forgot to apply. It's like da 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 da. So you're doing this sort of pattern where you're like high, low, high, low. I forgot to apply. I forgot to apply. American English really struggles with that sort of pattern. It does because we're used to when the pitch goes higher, we're expecting stress. But in this case, we're not actually stressing things. At least not intentionally. So this makes it really hard to understand. We need to decide where we emphasize. Are we emphasizing the forgot part or are we emphasizing the apply part?
I forgot to apply that study.
I forgot to apply. I forgot to apply. It depends what I could see a stress on forgot or I could see a stress on apply. So I don't really care which one you pick, but pick one. Don't try not to do both. It's like I forgot to apply for that study abroad program. I forgot to apply for that study abroad program. So I would probably treat that all as one thought group. Okay, just for now. There's other ways you could do this, but for now, just for practice, let's keep it simple. Let's do one thought group. Let's do one stress. Let's stress forgot. The stress on forgot is on got. It's like I forgot. I forgot. Do you see it's like down, down, up? I forgot to, and then everything else is going to start going down because our stress is on forgot. Nothing else in the thought group is stressed. So that means if something's not stressed, we go down in pitch. Okay. I forgot to apply for that study abroad program. I forgot to apply to that study abroad program. Try saying that with me. I forgot to apply for that study abroad program. I forgot to apply for that study abroad program, and now I missed the boat. I forgot to apply for that study abroad program, and now I missed the boat. So I think just playing around with stress in pitch is going to have a pretty big impact on this sentence and make it a lot easier to understand. Please let me know if anything there is not clear. Thank you for this file. Lots of great stuff that we can all glean from this. We appreciate you for sending that. Okay, that concludes our original group of files. I know Elchin sent us a file that we'll take a look at momentarily. And if you're just joining us, hi, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. Just wanted to 4 key components of a natural American English pronunciation. This is the Schwa Mill, where every single Saturday at this time we look at pronunciation files that people send us and we give suggestions for how they can sound more natural. So if you or anyone you know is studying American English, this is the place to be. And if you want to help us out, even just pressing that like button is super, super helpful in getting the stream out there. I see Muhammad asks a question, how to understand English. Or I'm assuming that's Muhammad or MD. I'll just use MD for now. How to understand English. Great question. So I do want to highlight that if you're having trouble with understanding and listening, that could be a sign that it's also a pronunciation thing too, because you're probably having a hard time understanding the difference between sounds that are necessary in American English. So for instance, I would definitely, if I struggled with American English, I would start off with vowel sounds. I would make sure that I can understand vowel sounds because in American English, vowel sounds have a huge impact in terms of comprehension. If you're not sure where to start with vowel sounds, give me a moment. I want to load something for us. I'm going to go crazy. Vowels, 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 vowels. So if you are struggling with vowel sounds, that was not the button I wanted to press. But I can make this work. There's a playlist I think is going to be really helpful that I have. Give me a moment and I will share with you what that playlist is. Okay, we're almost there. And I'll need to make myself a little smaller for this. Okay, so this is youtube.com/Fluent American, our homepage on YouTube. The most important sounds if you're trying to get started. If you look on my YouTube page, go down to the 30-day American. Okay, so if you're on our homepage, if you go down to the 30-day American Accent Challenge, I go through in very short videos. So each of these videos is about 2 to 3 minutes long max, and there's 30 of them. And they each cover one of the 30 most important pronunciation concepts. Okay, whether it's specific vowel sounds, whether it's how to link words together, whether it's reductions and things like that. So if your goal is to understand English better, this is going to be the foundation of the most important concepts that native speakers are using in their speech that may be difficult for you to understand. Okay, so we go over some of the most confusing vowel sounds, like the a sound versus the s sound, like bad versus bed. We look at confusing consonant sounds, like how to make a th sound, like a th or a the. We take a look at how to use stress, like the difference between like this is and this is. We look at linking words together, like the difference between like it is and it is, like how to join words together. All of those sorts of things we talk about. So if you're looking for just a quick introduction to understanding American English better, I would start with here to start developing your listening and also your speaking and pronunciation skills. This playlist is for you. Okay? Thank you so much for asking that question. I appreciate it. Last thing as well, guys. Again, if you're finding this helpful, everything that we're doing today, and you're like, man, I want to work with Jeff every single day of the week because I want to really improve or make noticeable changes in my pronunciation, we have the program for you. It's called Mission English. In Mission English, you pay one price. You pay $30. It gets you access for the month to all of these classes. We're doing a maximum of 40 classes a month, a minimum of 30. Okay? And we're meeting at different times. These are group classes, small group classes. So it's you and 2-3 other students on screen with me. We meet at 9:30 in the morning New York time. So we do it on Tuesdays, we do it on Wednesdays, we do it on Fridays. We meet at 1:30 p.m. New York time. We do it on Mondays, we do it on Tuesdays, we do that on Fridays. And then we also do an 8 p.m. session on Mondays, on Wednesdays, and on Thursdays. We also started some writing classes. I was an examiner for IELTS. So if you're trying to get like a band 7 on IELTS, maybe you're working on business emails, maybe you're working on presentations, things like that, we'd love to help you out in our writing sessions. We do at least 5 of those a month. But yeah, in terms of just getting the best value while also learning the most, our Mission English program is for you. All the classes are also recorded. We just had our 300th class that you can watch. And if you join Mission English today, you can immediately watch all of those 300 classes. Okay, so that's just something to keep an eye out for. All right, guys, I have one more audio file, and then I'm going to duck out, see how my son's doing, see how my wife is doing. Closing us out. Let's take a look. As I'm loading this up, if you want to help the stream, here's how you can do it. Like what you're hearing? Let us know by liking and subscribing. All right, our final file. The final file. I need to make an audio that says the final file or something like that. Okay. Edward asks a question here as well. Are you also a TOEFL coach? So I was a proctor for TOEFL, but I never actually graded for TOEFL. Whereas for IELTS, I was a grader for the writing and the speaking tests. I was that person doing those interviews and giving you a band 5. That was me. I will say that, English tests, in a lot of ways, they're measuring similar things. So, in general, if you're good at speaking, you'll get a good speaking score. In general, if you're good at writing, you'll get a good writing score in general. Okay, so there are some things that do overlap to a degree between TOEFL and IELTS. However, if someone's looking specifically for TOEFL coaching and they're really like, I need TOEFL, I'm probably not your best person. Okay, last file. Let's take a listen to the
Tomorrow, a friend of mine living in another country is coming here.
Again, pitches are everything just feels really high. Like tomorrow, a friend living in another country is living here. What is it?
Tomorrow, a friend of mine.
Tomorrow, a friend of mine. Tomorrow, a friend of mine. Like tomorrow versus tomorrow, a friend of mine. Maybe going lower on tomorrow because you're separating tomorrow. Someone wants to sound thought group, so maybe go lower. Like tomorrow, a friend of mine, or tomorrow, a friend of mine. I like the first way better though. I like lower on tomorrow, higher on the next thought group.
Tomorrow, a friend of mine living in another country is.
A friend of mine living in another country is. A friend of mine living in another country. So I would go a little lower in pitch on that living in another country part.
Tomorrow, a friend of mine living in another country is.
I like the repetition like in another country. That's a very natural strategy that native speakers use when they're thinking of what to say next. Just repeat the word in another country.
Coming here. A friend of mine living in another country is coming here.
Coming here. You're kind of a friend of mine living in another country is coming here. So I would maybe is coming here. I probably wouldn't stress here. I probably stress coming. And I would add more pitch contrast. A friend of mine living in another country is coming here.
He's gonna spend here for he's gonna be here for 2 or so months. He's gonna spend here for
he's gonna be here. I would say he's gonna spend here. He's gonna be here.
Spend here for he's gonna be here for 2 or so months.
2 or so months. I'll probably say 2 or 3 months instead of 2 or so months. Or you can say about. He's gonna be here for about 2 months. But these are more vocab things than pronunciation things.
He's gonna spend here for he's gonna be here for 2 or so months.
Months sounds a little weird. Not hearing that. I'm hearing months, 2 or so months.
He's gonna be here for 2 or so months.
Months versus months. I would try to get a little bit more th on that personally because that sounds a little awkward to me personally. 2 or so.
Be here for 2 or so months.
I know months is a tricky word to say. I get it. One trick you can do is either have the tip of your tongue against your top front tooth the entire time, months, or against your bottom front tooth the entire time, months. Not in the middle.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I hope we can spend some time together. Hopefully, we can spend some time together.
As I spend some time together. You're stressing together. I would stress time. Spend some time. Hope we could spend some time together. Yeah, the big thing here is that I just would like when you're switching thought groups to change the pitch register. I think it's going to help give this a much more natural sound.
Tomorrow, a friend of mine living in another country is
Like tomorrow, a friend of mine living in another country. Tomorrow, a friend of mine living in another country
coming here.
is coming here. A friend of mine living in another country is coming here. That's how I would said that.
He's gonna spend here for like he's gonna be here like for 2 or so months.
He's gonna be here for 2 or 3 months. He's gonna be here for 2 or 3 months. So I would have said that part.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Hey, I'm very excited. I'll go. If you're excited, let's get excited. Maybe a little higher pitch on excited. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I hope we can spend some time together.
I hope we can spend some time together. I'm very excited. I hope we can spend some time together. Something like that. I'm very excited. I hope we can spend some time together.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, those would be my big comments there. All right, crew. That concludes all of the audio files that were sent to me. Oh my gosh. Give it up for yourselves for spending about an hour and 10 minutes of your day on a Saturday. Studying American English pronunciation. Once more, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath, one of the 4 key components of a natural American English accent, along with placement, pitch, and weakening your vowel sounds. If you guys have questions about anything that we looked at today, be sure to let me know by just leaving a comment on the stream. Also, we would love to have your own audio files. So take a look at that Google Doc in the video description so that way next week you can send in your own audio file. Again, I clean it out about every Thursday or Friday, so then you can send in your own file during the week. You can forget it, and then we'll take a look at it on the next Saturday. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I know when it comes to American English pronunciation, there are literally millions of resources out there. So the fact that you've turned to us for a little bit of help is much appreciated. You guys take care. Have a good day. Have a good night. Good afternoon. And we'll see you all later. Edward's saying, my wife, yeah, my son's okay. My son's my son. He's fine. But I appreciate the warm thoughts. Thank you so much, Edward. You guys take care. Have a good day. Good night. Good afternoon. Thanks so much to Emmanuel. Thanks to everyone checking out. Thanks to Kim being first stream. Other people sending their first audio files. We appreciate you all. And we'll see you next week.